What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Gung-Fu Super Bros podcast, the number one podcast for Kung Fu martial arts movies and pop culture. Hey, Stevens.
Yeah.
What episode is this? Marco done lost his shit already.
This is episode 9.
What's so funny?
Wait, I know that.
Hold on.
What happened to
What's
Marco?
going on?
Wait, well, listen. Sometimes jokes are for me. I don't interrupt you.
What shares?
I don't interrupt you with your sports shit.
No, it's something that's really bad. So that's why he can't repeat it out loud. He'll tell us after the show. What episode is this, Stevens?
This is 92.
92.
This is the year I graduated high school.
This is 92 is the year you graduated high school.
Yes. I am that old.
How old were you in 1980?
That's not that much of a difference.
Six?
6?
How much were you in 1976?
No, because that's the year I
I
was
know,
born.
but it's just kind of random.
I'm just saying.
2002?
Yeah.
How older I am.
I can go up from 0.
That's easy.
That's easy.
I can do that. 92. So 92, you were graduating high school.
Yep.
What were we doing at Barca?
92?
Yeah.
Okay.
See y'all straight pimping. No, 92, straight jacking.
I was all droop down.
92. So 92, you're in Rancho Cucamonga, and you decide to go to Cal State?
Yeah.
Gangster rep is barely being born.
The world was a different place.
Did we ever get the
origin story?
origin story of super
Yeah,
producer?
why
Super
Roadrunners?
producer Stevens?
Partly because
The air quality?
money, right? Like, well, we were right at
What's the cheapest
you don't
school
get
I can
financial
get?
aid line.
So, but when you were a senior in high school, like you knew about obviously Bakersfield
I have to
and
UCLA.
as an option.
Why did USC?
Not really. Not until, well,
Cal State, Bakersfield. Go rowdy.
that's exactly what they did. No, so growing up, we used to go water skiing and stuff
Okay.
at Buena Vista.
Okay.
Oh shit, I was gonna say, but you!
It was real gross. It was still new, kind of, when we were.
Time out. Enrique, have you been to Buena
I've
Vista?
never been there.
Don't.
Okay.
Bro, like that shit, there's dead bodies in that waterfall.
It's been used a lot, and it's a small lake.
For
It's
sex.
a reservoir.
For semen. And actually, that might be the best thing you can find in there.
Yeah.
That shit. Dude, when you step in that bitch and your feet just sink into
I haven't been since probably. I haven't been since like 95, maybe.
She's a year after I came here. She went once.
So-
and like,
Okay.
so you knew about Buena Vista.
So we would go water skiing and all that, and when you come up this way, we would go up the 5, but you would always know Bakersfield is right here, and I was just
Uh-huh.
So when it came time to look for schools, like I could have probably done a UC or whatever. but-
Harvard.
She's so goddamn smart.
When we were looking at money to go,
I'm
Mhm.
smart. Not like they say they
UCs are
are.
way more, and back then it was especially. I mean, they're all expensive now, but it was way more, and still are. So I
The
was
difference
like,
from a CSU to a UC.
yeah, and so I was like, we don't get financial aid. I'm gonna have to get loans, and I'm gonna have to work, and I'm gonna have to do all this stuff, and I'm like, well, I don't want that much debt, so I'm just gonna go CSUs. So my mom was cool, and one spring break, I think it's spring break, and maybe even another weekend.
Spring
we just went
break.
up and down the state and looked at
Oh, really?
all the CSUs.
That's
so-
what I wanted to.
Which ones did you go to real quick?
Oh man, I don't even know. Sonoma,
Dominguez Hills.
Dominguez Hills,
Northridge?
Northridge,
Yeah.
Bakersfield,
Irvine?
CSU LA?
oh, LA.
I'm not here for a long time, guys. I'm here for a good time.
Is
Okay,
Irvine?
word.
Is Irvine?
We did tour, like I toured UC Irvine.
Your mom was like, eh.
Oh, that's a UC though. That's a UC.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
UC
that's-
I had
Irvine.
friends that were going to those schools and stuff, and so I was kind of
Ooh.
like.
Did you do San Diego State University?
Woo, go
I
Aztecs.
think we did San Diego because I was like, no, that's too much.
Two, yeah.
Because I was not extroverted.
That is a party school.
At the time. And so I was like, no, it's a little too much. So once we started seeing the schools and stuff, best thing I did, because at the time I was like, Sonoma, all the way. I'm going to Sonoma.
Ah.
It's beautiful. And then we went to the campus, and luckily, I think that's the one we went during spring break, but it wasn't their spring break, so campus was full.
Okay.
And I walked around and I was like, wow, am I the youngest person here right now? Because this is not this is
Old, like
it just felt like I didn't
29s?
see people my age. Yes. But
Oh.
you're 18, you're 17, right? And you're
Yeah.
looking around and you're like, these are all old people. They're probably 25.
They're they were 21. Yuck. That's
But
funny.
it just felt like
Old.
a lot older than me.
Huh.
And I was like, oh, this doesn't feel
wonder-
comfortable. Like, it
wonder-
wasn't like, oh.
Is that up north?
Yeah.
Like, is it a beach?
No,
it's woodsy, right?
It's,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
more woodsy.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. The campus was beautiful.
So because of the makeup of the people there, you were like, nah.
yeah.
And that's why. And then CSUB it
no.
is.
So then I said, I'll just stay home. I was gonna
Okay.
go.
Okay.
I was gonna go to San Bernardino.
Okay.
But my mom was like, no, like leave your options open. Let's do Bakersfield too, because that way, we can go up and water ski and you join us and stuff like that. So I was like, okay.
Yeah.
So I applied to San Bernardino and I applied to Cal State Bakersfield, and that was it. I toured a whole bunch of schools and I applied to 2 because it costs to apply.
Did you tour
yeah.
CSUB?
Yes, we did come out and tour CSUB, and we were out here on a Saturday, and we happened to run into Dr. Flockman, who's the honors
fuck up.
advisor. No joke. I think that's why I went there, because when we were out just walking around, and he was like, "Oh, you look lost" or whatever, and my mom and I were like, "Well, we're just touring, thinking about applying and whatnot." And he's like, "Oh, well, tell me about yourself," and he just
Who's this?
he's like the honors program teacher there. He's an English teacher. He sadly passed on, but yeah, they just kind of greeted me. So when it came to it, I just applied to those 2, and I was gonna stay home. But my mom was like, if you don't get the fuck out of my house,
Good job, Mom.
you're
dude.
never gonna leave because you don't go do anything. Like, that's just not who I was.
Yeah.
And she knew it best, so here I am.
So you never get out of the house.
So, but did you get to both of them? And then did you
yeah.
get in?
Yeah,
CSU's
I
you got
wasn't
it.
worried about being accepted to the CSU.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was a little more worried about UCs, but even then, I really wasn't worried about being accepted. It was the money.
Yeah.
Like, and we were right at that line where I was like, damn, we didn't even qualify for nothing. And so I got $1,000 scholarship, which is a lot of money. But at the time, that $1,000 paid for my whole freshman year.
Yeah.
It did not pay.
Yeah.
It did not pay my dorms and all that, but it was $333 a quarter at the time. And that paid for my freshman year.
I wish it was.
And then I worked, and then, I got loans and stuff. But yeah, and then I just, you go to school and you network and you start working, and I just stuck around.
And did you go all the schooling there? Like everything? All
Yeah, I got my bachelor's there, and then I started working there.
Okay.
Working for a program we know.
Yeah.
And then I said, hey, I want to get my master's. And they were like, sure, we'll pay for it. Because when you work there, all that stuff is kind of, can be lower cost and whatever. So the program paid for me to get my master's.
Oh, that's sweet. That's a cool deal.
And then I had to do the credential program. So I took out a loan for that because at the time my job stopped and I started working at West High.
And then you kind of just went from there.
And then I got my credential and stuff.
And then you didn't stay close to home, but that was out of necessity. Like, was there a close to home option?
No.
What was close to home? What was like the closest option?
Community colleges. So eventually
Okay.
you have to go the nearest university.
4 year, yeah.
It was about a little bit over an hour drive.
That's the closest option.
Mm-hmm.
And is that where you ended up going?
Mm-hmm.
Ah, okay.
I commuted every day. Well, every day I had
You
class.
drove out there every day? Wow. You tried to book your schedule then, so it's just 2 days a week or
no,
something.
I don't want to drive anywhere anymore, bro.
Most of the times, yeah.
Seriously, you did it all growing up,
Most
man.
of the times I would have, most semesters I had three days a week. But one of the days was just like either one night class, or it would be like a 3-hour class, so once a week.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
So you try to set up your
Like a
schedule
lab
to
thing
where,
or
like,
whatever.
yeah.
some classes they would only offer once a week.
Yeah.
So it was a 3-hour block
Yeah.
on that day.
Yeah.
So, and then the other 2 days I would have like half a day of classes.
So you try to set it up to where you weren't traveling every single day, try to just get it done in a...
You really didn't even have an option. It was either Monday, Wednesday, or and then like a Friday,
Yeah.
or a Tuesday, Thursday, and not Friday.
I'm going to tell you, that's the nice thing about being in the dorms.
Yeah.
Is because I could go to class, and if I had like 15 minutes,
Yeah.
I'd be like, I'm going to go drop this book off. And you just like...
I got time to do all kinds of shit.
Yeah. It was pretty awesome.
I made no friends in between classes. If I had a big gap, I would sit in my car and eat by myself. Like a straight up
you
loner.
didn't go even hang out?
Shit.
Sometimes
No, I started.
I had
like,
friends
we
that
had
were
lunch
huge
and
nerds.
Sometimes,
Fuck, bro.
sometimes I would. I know it's
Sometimes
sad.
I would cry.
It was sad. But you know what? I'm so fucked up that I kind of liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you keep telling yourself that.
So why is my food always salty? Because of my tears. So like no, like not even in class, like a dude had a Dodger hat on. You're like, hey, baseball.
Yeah.
And then I was in Texas. Like
that. I wonder if that's what it is, bro.
it wasn't my vibe out there.
I wonder if you would have stayed in LA your senior year, because your senior year is when you kind of like start forming.
Like I'm not gonna
I'm not
gonna brag, but
he's a homecoming kid for sure, dog, for sure.
I mean, nominated at least, right?
Lead into play? No, because I'm not a fucking nerd. But no, like I wonder if you shut off because you're like, I fucking hate this place.
Yeah, maybe.
In your formative years,
I never felt, and like the racism too. Like I never felt comfortable anywhere.
sure, I get that.
Damn, bro. Welcome to Enrique, the formative
Don't
years.
laugh, bro. It's not funny.
Don't laugh if it's racist experience.
Racism is not funny, bro.
No, it's just funny that like we were growing up at the same time, and you fucking have to say that statement out loud.
I know. It's sad, right?
It just that's mind blowing.
I know.
Because we grew up in a little ass town. But again, we were surrounded by 99.9% us. So, I mean, that kind of shielded it from us. But even going to Bakersfield, like, I don't know, bro. How can you? Like you threw a rock, you hit one of us. Like, sometimes they did. But, like, like, that's the thing. But you, like, literally legit probably, like, were shut off because you're like, hell no, I ain't even trying to talk to nobody because fuck this bullshit.
Yeah,
I hate Texas.
And anywhere I went.
It's the good old boys, right?
Yeah, like shit happened. Like, shit, like, legit happened to me where I never felt comfortable just... It was always a thing. It was always in the back of my mind. Like I never felt comfortable just because shit like that always happened. And it's always around. Yeah.
This is 1999, fool. 1997, 98. Like,
well, this was early 2000s.
Like Biggie's second album dropped.
No, this was like
this was 2017.
This was probably like early 2000s, because at this time I had already
Chuck Rock had already jumped onto the scene.
I had already done like 3 years of junior college because I wasted a year.
Hey, 5 years for my bachelor's. I know what you're talking about.
6 years.
Yeah.
You were fucking, what's the name from old school? You were trying to hang on, bro. You're like a few more years, dude. We need a homie like that. But okay, so then. But it wasn't more accepting at college, or do you just maybe you never found out because you never gave it a shot? Because isn't college supposed to be more the?
Well, and what college is that? Like, can you say
college of
what university? Not local schools, but
West Texas A&M University.
Oh, and that's not
Go
more liberal.
Aggies.
It's
Aggies.
No, that's Texas A&M.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
This is West.
They used to
Texas
call them something
A&M.
similar.
They're the Buffalo, I think.
The field workers. I know. What, the Buffalo?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Tatanka?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Interesting.
No, because these schools they're in pretty conservative areas.
Yeah,
so.
gotcha.
The kids going there, people going there are pretty conservative themselves.
And they're all like local kids.
Yeah.
The athletes are the only ones that are not from the area.
Yeah. That's
Okay.
that's how CSUB was.
Man,
Yeah.
My first day of classes, you have those teachers who are like, let's introduce yourselves. What school you're from?
Ew,
and
social emotional learning?
it was like, I'm this person, I'm from East, and I'm from West, and I'm from South, and I'm from North, and I'm from, Ridgeview, and I'm from this school.
Yeah.
And then they got to me.
Really
And then they got to me.
Like, huh.
I know.
I'm not like I'm from, and then they would say it.
Yeah.
And I know communications major. And I'm like, oh, me too, dog.
The people who stuck out were like me, and then the people like the athletes and stuff, because we weren't from. So I'd be like,
she's on Badminton scholarship.
yeah, I was like,
Badminton scholarship.
Those athletes stood out,
I was like, Etowanda High School, and everyone like looks, and I'm like,
I think I told you guys, and I think I told it on the podcast, but I knew Willie Stargell's godson.
Yeah.
Yeah, and his dad was Doc Ellis, the guy that threw the perfect game, shutouts on LSD.
oh wow,
Yeah, he played basketball at Cal State. His name was Doc.
Okay.
So that was a homie, dude. Like, yeah, Doc was a good dude, but
Loving basketball
did
stuff?
not grow up in Bakersfield. But yeah, he played ball at CSUB. So, but yeah, Willie Stargell was his godfather. I'm like, dude, that's badass. He's like, oh yeah, dude. I'm like, have you met? And he's like, oh yeah, Willie May. Like, because that was a group that his dad ran with or whatever.
Does CSUB look a lot different now?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah,
it really does.
They had real dorms and
and
fancy.
Nothing when we went there, dude.
The dorms are all those dorms are brand new, right?
Yeah, workout centers. We didn't have any of that crap when we were there.
The student union.
Yeah. We just got to go to Union, and that wasn't good for us.
If you've heard about that, Enrique hasn't heard about that.
He's seen the Toothless Wonders.
He doesn't know the stories.
That street is wild. It is wild, bro. It doesn't matter what time of the day either. It is wild. There's a lot of fucking lot lizards walking around there. But I guess they're not lot lizards in this case. But okay, so then your option. So did you live at home when you were going?
Yeah.
All the way through?
The only time I didn't live that I lived in dorms was right out of high school when I was playing ball.
Oh, because you had to be on campus.
Yeah, but that was just one semester, and then I moved back home.
Why didn't you stay?
I was gonna say the season doesn't start till the end of the year, doesn't it? Or
I only did winter ball. That
was it.
Mm.
Did you make the choice, or did they have like, hey, bro, did you get that ticket like in Major League where you open up your thing and there's like a pink ticket hanging there or whatever?
You got pink slipped?
Yeah, like or a red ticket.
Pretty much.
Really?
Yeah.
Shit. But you said how different it would have been if you knew what you knew now, right?
Yeah.
Like you would have probably got a gym membership.
Yeah.
Been going hard the whole summer. Like, but that didn't even like. That wasn't really a thing, right?
I didn't know. I mean, it was a thing, but not in my world. I didn't know.
Like your coaches in high school were trying to help you out or whatever?
I did the opposite. I got super fat right before the season.
Yo, I'm putting on some weight, bro.
I was like, dude, once I get into school, I'm going to lose.
Shredded, dog.
So I'm going to enjoy the summer.
How many pounds do you think you gained over summer, bro? Like legit.
Like, dude, this is embarrassing, but I'll go ahead and say it because I like you guys and nobody listens to this. I don't know.
A jumbo box of Randy's donuts.
But it was to the point where when I showed up to school, the coach didn't recognize me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, anybody see Enrique? Coach,
he's right there. You're like, the guy standing behind him? right there, dog. Really?
Wow.
Yeah. It wasn't like I didn't really know him that well anyways. Like he saw me playing a game in that town where the college was. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of when he gave me an offer.
Ah, very cool.
And then I didn't really communicate with him that much afterwards. So it was just kind of, he just saw me play that night, and then it kind of happened. And then through the AD at the high school, kind of hooked me up with him, got everything situated. And I got half a scholarship to where it paid pretty much half of school and like dorms and all that. And then I got Pell Grants. I qualified for Pell Grants. So that's how I paid for all that.
Did anybody else in your Texas team make it to anywhere that you remember? Like, I don't know, like if any
I had
teammates?
A couple teammates. I actually lived with, I dormed.
He's a man Machado.
With one of the players from the high school that where I played. Mm-hmm. So, and then there was another dude that had graduated the year before from that school.
Anybody from your LA team that you remember?
No,
nobody.
So, that played in college?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Mike Trout.
So like, you're like, no, Shohei time. Wait, what? So like, let me ask you this: where was because you hear a lot of things about Texas sports, right? Yeah. Texas football, especially. But you hear a lot about the sports. If you're like LA team, be honest, played your Texas team, who would win? On a field of dreams. I'm just wondering.
The bad news bears.
My high school team in LA was not very good.
Whoa, you heard it here first.
I'm only saying
he was all starting pitcher.
But it's hard because we played against really good teams in LA.
Yeah, you're playing the city, right?
Yeah, I still think we would have smashed that my La Puente team.
He couldn't do it.
No, because I'm trying to because we were pretty good. The team I played on was over there was really good. Mm-hmm. Not really good, but we made playoffs.
Got you.
But we played against pretty sorry teams, like little shithole towns. Damn,
don't just be shitting on us, dog. It's not our fault. That's how we can play.
No, boy, this is different. This is different because you have big cities.
You do have a city that you can play.
Yeah.
No, you're right. You're right. And some of these city teams have been doing noise they've been making noise for a while and stuff like that. Interesting. Oh, Barco, what was the biggest reason for you leaving not being a 49er? And I'm talking about San Francisco 49er, obviously.
First of all,
was it the 49ers?
Hi, everybody. My name's John.
We just went, dog.
No, we haven't.
His mom's going to be so
You
mad.
never did the, hey, John, say hi.
Hey, John, say hi.
Hey, guys. Before we get to that, hey, happy Chinese New Year or happy Lunar New Year.
Shit.
I'm going to stay quiet.
Hey, it's Year of the Rabbit.
I'm out of it.
Yeah, you're the rabbit.
Year of the Rabbit.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Siri is trying
do
to
it,
say
Steven.
something. It's Gung Hai Fai Choi.
Yeah. Okay, yes. All right, I'm cool with that.
cool.
I didn't want anything
Let's
else.
go. Let's move
Hey,
on.
so, Barco, what was the biggest reason for you, like, not being a 49er?
I'm bad at budgets. And
Yeah, that's what it is.
I'm bad at budgets. And like, I was like, oh, I can't, like, I have to. So I got accepted to Cal State Long Beach.
Yeah, you mentioned that you went there for a semester?
No, last week, a couple of days.
Oh, okay.
Like
Couple of days. You should have like, nah. Yeah.
couple of days.
So does that even count?
He has a degree that says Cal State.
It's Cal State. I was there. I paid for a dorm. My dad paid for a dorm.
Yeah. But you just were like, nah.
And they remind me every chance they get. I'm like, yeah.
You guys never got the dorm money back?
No, we did, but like, it's like, my dad's a ranch foreman. To make a little more money.
So why did you end up?
You know what? It's one of those things where you're a big fish in a small pond, but a little fish in a big pond, and it's like I don't know if I'm at all ready for this. I don't know as much.
You don't want to eat in your car by yourself?
No,
No, he didn't. I'm gonna.
you know what? Here's the thing. Like, as nerdy as I am, I have an ability to connect with people, whether it's jocks or whether it's gangster people or the most introverted, sad sack you've ever met.
You think we could have been friends?
Oh my God.
If there's something we generally have in common, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's interesting because I have.
It really is. It's like we live in a very small town, and we as much as we think that we are metropolitan, that we are open to the world. It's like, oh, this is what the actual world is like. Maybe I can spend a couple more years, just figuring it out. And so, advice that I give the high schoolers, and I say, you know what, take as much time as you need to figure it out, and then make your mark on the world. And even then, you need to define what your own success is, because your success is not mine, and what you value maybe is not what I value.
Yeah, we're all different.
And it's but this mentality that we have to keep up with the Joneses or the Kardashians or whatever famous person is in vogue that week.
Let me ask you this:
Yeah.
when you decided to go to Long Beach, did you feel you were ready, or did you just didn't know what you were getting yourself into, or did you realize after the fact, or you just?
It was getting there, and you're like, oh, like it was. I went to classes and I went to lectures, and it was just like, you know, like the grind of this is not something I'm going to enjoy. But also, there's a lesson in, like, my parents could have been like, yeah, no, screw you, dude. You need to figure this out, and you're going to stay there until the semester or finish it out. Like, I mean, my dad is big on, you don't quit things.
Give it a year. Give it a semester.
Exactly. You don't quit things. And I've stayed at horrible jobs because I'm like, I don't want, like, he's right.
It's a pretty common thing for college freshmen to struggle, right? Especially if they go.
I struggled even I was here, and I struggled, bro.
Yeah.
I think that, and I think that's why it's funny. The conversations I had with some of the kids is like, and I don't know, and I can only speak to the school I work at. I've only been there, right? But it seems like success is a UC. Success is a Stanford. Success is a big school. And if you go to a junior college,
right,
where like, and I heard this from my brother of all places. He goes, dude, because like the church he attends, that's a whole nother fucking story for another day. It's all people that Liberty, whatever. He goes, most of those kids go to BC for 2 years because the parents are going to pay for school. And they're like, no, fuck you. Yeah. I'm not going to pay for that. Then after that, you can transfer over or whatever. It's a financial decision. Like, what's financially smart? Oh, let's go to a junior college. Yeah. And then you can make the move. But if a kid hears, like, when we have conversations, I have to be like, dude, where are you going? And like, going to BC. And I'm like,
nice.
Cool, bro. Like, all right, cool. You're gonna save a lot of money your first 2 years, huh? Yeah. But they're almost like embarrassed to say. And I'm like, why are you embarrassed? Because guess what? 2 will probably be 3. Because you're gonna probably fuck up your first year. Because I go, I did. And then I figured out, I'm like, oh, this shit's easy. Oh, okay. Don't have classes with this fucktard because we're gonna fuck around. Okay, let's check, do that. Okay. Oh, you don't really have to do all. Okay. Okay. Teachers tell you what grade you want. I just want to fucking see. Why am I stressing? Like, so it's just kind of figuring out the grind or whatever, you know. Where like, and it's funny because like I feel like in our school, because it's an enroll school, it's almost like they're almost embarrassed to say that. It's like, I'm smart. I'm not supposed to go to that. I'm supposed to go to a UC.
I think that's our hoity-toity.
Say names. Drop names, Steven. Actually, don't
counselors
say names.
Counselors and teachers, right, who promote that.
Call them out right now. Call them out.
And you know what it is? What pisses me off? And all I tell the kids is like, look, I'll never tell you what to do. I'll only tell you like what I know. Because I can't speak to, if you tell me should I go, I don't know if you should go there. But I always tell them like, look, dude, they're not going to pay your bills. Yeah, they're not going to be there when you have to take an extra year, and that extra year costs $20,000 or more probably now. I go, but I'm not. But if you want to do that, go for it. But do it because you want to, not because anybody else wants you to do it. And don't stay also because your parents want you to stay. You got to make your own decision. Even if you fuck up, at least it was your decision. Yeah, it wasn't somebody else making that decision for you. But like, I don't know, dude. From day one, I keep telling my kids, like, you're going to a junior college unless y'all get scholarships that pay for everything. Yeah. Sorry, bro. If we're paying for it, you're not going to go anywhere those first 2 years. Now, if you kill it and you figure out how to do it, more power to you. Go get it. Yeah. You know, but that's one of the weirdest things I think in the last 20 something years that I've realized in education. Like when I first started, I was like, 4 years, degrees. Now I'm just like, hey, what do you want to do, kid? Because
what makes you happy?
But what's unfair is that schools are judged by that metric. Yeah. So how many students are going to a UC? How many students are going to a private school? How many get into West Point or whatever? You know what? I had a conversation today with a student, and we looked at their grades, and we were so happy that they didn't fail a class this semester. And I was like, okay, what are you? So their worry was like, hey, mister, I got a bad grade in this class. Do I have to repeat it? Because my counselor may tell me that I have to repeat it. And then I was like, okay, what are your plans after high school? Are you going to go to college? Like a CSU, UC? And I didn't have the heart to say like, you're behind on that part because you're not where you need to be for that. But you're perfect for a JUCO, a junior college will accept you. And she's like, well, you know, I want something kind of quick. I don't want to spend and already, and just based on the students' life experiences, like they want us to have a job and they want to not be in that environment. Right. So their success already is different than some of our honor students that are like, I have to get into this, and they're so stressed out.
How is it like over there where you're at? Like, does she ever talk to you about that? Are kids kind of like, I'm going here, I'm going? Like, is it a big? I don't know if you guys ever have that conversation. It'd be kind of like a weird conversation to have.
Yeah, I don't really get into conversations about like
because she's kind of made her decision to stay here, huh?
Yeah,
right. But she still has a year, right?
No, she's.
This is it. Oh my bad. Yeah, and she's still.
Yeah, she's planning on going to BC.
Okay.
So. But I told my kids, my second oldest he's a freshman, and I told them both, I'm like, look, you don't, this idea that you have to go to college, that's an old, like outdated idea where just try to, and I know it's almost impossible at the age they're at, but try to find your passion.
I need you to be self-sufficient.
What are you passionate about? Yeah. What are you passionate about? What makes you happy? What makes you excited to do whatever? And if that requires college, we'll figure it out. And if it doesn't, it's okay. Yeah. You know, because I went to school because my parents are not from this country, and they didn't have the opportunities that I had. And it was always like, take advantage of the opportunity you have. Go to college, and you're going to go to college. And we figured it out, and I did it, and it was hard, and I almost get kicked out once. And but I did it because I wanted to make my parents proud. And then you get your diploma, your degree, and I'm like, where's my amazing job? Where's my amazing job? I did it. Where's
Yeah, I was waiting. Me up with that.
I was waiting with job offers. What the fuck?
Yeah, because that's what they tell you, right? Yeah. You need a degree to get a good job.
Yep.
And guess what? there's no fucking jobs.
Yeah.
Like no one is handing you jobs. I'm just like any other fucking schmuck out there.
Yep.
And to this day, am I actually using my degree? Probably not.
I'm not.
But I think that, you know what
I use mine every day.
I think the lie is I don't think the businesses are looking at the fact that whatever the piece of paper says, they just want you to know you can grind. It's like, I'm going to hire that dude because he can go through the grind. What's the degree?
Well,
I don't give a shit.
Out of college.
That's exactly the thing.
College,
it's who you know. Like once you get out of school, it's who you know.
That's why I got my job, bro.
It's who you know and what experience you've had. That's it.
That's it.
That's what I try to tell the students. Like,
how the hell, if you're too busy stuck in a class all day, how did you get experience?
Yep.
And I think that's a balance. The only thing I will say that I do, because like my son, he seems like he wants to do this whole auto tech route, and I'm okay with that. I don't give a shit, dude.
Yeah.
Go for it. What's the school for auto tech?
I was gonna say C-Tech. No, ATI. UTI.
I go for it, man. Just
UTI?
do it. Yeah. That is the name of it. Okay. Hopefully he doesn't get any of those in college or give girls any. But or whatever. But like I go for it. But after that, dude, this is because my wife's like, oh my God, I go, babe, you're thinking of a backyard mechanic. That's not what he wants to do. He's trying to figure out within that.
He can go work for F1.
And that's what he says, right? And I'm like, dude, why not do NASCAR? Start you never know. No, but you got to start somewhere, bro. You know what I'm saying? Unless Cadillac gets in there. We'll see. But I go, figure it out, right? Go figure it out and go through it. I go, and look, man, I told him, I go, after, if you get that piece of paper, dude, it's not going to hurt. I'm going to tell you right now. And if you took 2 years to get your UTI and then you take 4 to get a bachelor's, bro, and in the meantime, you're already working, what's the problem? What's the problem? And I think for kids that don't have an idea, college is not necessarily a bad thing because they just get shit thrown at them that something might stick.
Yeah.
Or my other fear is if you stay home and do nothing, what sticks? That's a balance.
That'll help you figure out what you like, what you're into, what you don't. Mm-hmm.
You know, that's that. And to me, if even that's something. That would be the only one for me.
It puts you in situations where you're like, oh, I don't like that very much.
But if you
I like this.
Want to weld the shit out of your life and be a welder, you can just go get that training and do that. Do it. Yeah, right? Like, so a lot of my kids do the armed forces. If that's what you want to do, guys, awesome, bro. Like, that's amazing. And I think it's just opened my eyes, the years of doing it and living, working it at school, where it's like, man, we got to have other options for these kids.
Yeah, my wife did the thing where she took the year off after high school. Didn't really know what she was going to want to do. And then eventually went to college to get her, like JC, to get her basics done. And then entered the program for what she's doing now. And she knocked that out in 2 years and she was done. Yeah. But she went specifically for that program, tested afterwards and got her license to do that. And that's what she does. Yep. And that's great. Yeah. Because you know exactly what you're doing.
Do something that's going to make you happy going to work every day.
And then that, you know.
And if you can fucking party like a rock star the 4 years that you're there, or 5 like me, it's also cool too.
6? 6 years? How many?
5, right? You did it. You were a 5er, weren't you?
Yeah, because I left that.
It threw you behind.
Well, yes. Here's the reality: is that if you need to do a lot of legwork to then go to another college and say, "Hey, I want to go to this college," and they're like, "That's awesome." So
we're gonna make it hard.
No. Today. And they're like, wait, what? I'm like, yeah, who do I have to talk to? And they're like, well, go to this office. So I spent the entire day talking to people until I got to a certain point and they said, well, we gave you a letter. I guess we'll take you. And so they transferred the money over and I had to take whatever classes you could get.
Dude, I always tell my students, man, if you're going to go right away, have fun, dude. It's hard. It's fun. It's experiences. You're going to make friends. You're going to fucking do dumb shit. But like, because my wife kind of did the same thing your wife did. She stopped, and then she took a few years, but then she kind of finished while we were like getting married and stuff. So I'm like, she's like, high school was fun. I'm like, because you didn't do college right. That's what I did. I'm sorry, dude. College was fucking amazing, bro. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, college was whatever for me.
Dude,
other than my
so many wacky adventures.
Other than my freshman year, like the first year where I was, that first semester, honestly,
where you just carried your baseball bag everywhere.
Yeah, because you lived in the dorms, you know, and you make friends with people that are not from the area. And
you've never conned an entire class to leave?
Oh, that was fucking except that old lady. Fuck that.
Yeah, I made friends with guys from Puerto Rico, from Canada, like that played ball.
That's cool.
And that was fun, you know. And so, but I was in a serious relationship with some girl, you know.
Some girl
And, but
sleeping on the sofa.
no, but I'm saying is
it's a different experience.
It was fun. But it was just one semester, and then after that, it's like I would move back home.
Giving tours, right? And then there was always a saying, it's like, hey, dude, you want to make sure that in your tour, bro, you get them Guayama girls. And it was like, why the Guayama girls? Isn't there like 3 of them? He goes, yeah, fool, but they never been out of Guayama. And it was like, bro, what are you talking about? And the first party you go to, you're like, oh, God. So, is somebody get, because they just would lose their goddamn minds, bro. You're like, yo, that's a lot of coke. like, are you sure this is what you want to do? Like, fuck y'all, I'm out of here, bro. This is crazy. But like, they would fucking, it's wild, bro.
How many years did you do?
I did 4.
3.5.
But
Of course you did 4. Of course.
no, look,
I wanted to say that.
She double majored.
No,
My
but
master's, 4.5.
I changed majors 2 years in. I changed majors, and then because I was like, oh shit, I have to have this done. Like there was a
fake degree,
there was a.
How many?
I think
how
when
many?
you're younger, you thought, oh, you have to do it in 4, right? Like you're just. Let's go. So I was taking more classes my senior year because I was thinking I had to finish. And that's the one thing I tell every kid now is I'm like, don't be in a hurry. There's no rush.
Slow the fuck
There's
down.
no reason to be.
If you're getting Pell Grants, whatever, you got to be minimum.
But even then, you can
You
make
gotta
that
have a full
last year
schedule.
work.
Dog, if you take loans, bro, you're gonna take loans for your whole
No,
life.
I'm saying a Pell Grant. Like,
but I mean, even the kids always worry about loans. And I'm like, but you don't worry when you buy a car.
yeah.
That you're gonna change in 2 years and you're probably still gonna be paying that fucking car.
Yeah.
You don't worry when you
That
buy
you're going to be upside
mamadas.
down on. And then.
Yeah, like, so it's your education, dude, and just slow the fuck
Yes,
down.
that's the one thing
You
I
know?
tell them because I felt like I had to finish and no one was there to say, take another year.
Slow
like,
down.
what's the reason?
How many classes were you taking per semester?
60.
We were on quarter, but my senior year I was doing
I
4.
want this side of the paper.
4 classes? Well, that's not a lot. I mean, that's
In a quarter,
full-time.
in a quarter it is.
Quarter system, bro.
We were on quarter.
We were on
Their
semester.
semester now. 4 is what you would take in a semester.
It's a few classes.
I was doing 4
midterm.
on a quarter.
Few classes final.
I was
It's
doing
fucking
4
awesome.
in 10 weeks.
Damn,
Oh,
bro.
shit. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
And
a
I
lot.
did it because I was like, I have to fucking finish.
Yeah. But,
And there was
4 years.
No one was there to be like,
And
what's your hurry?
here's
like,
the thing.
Don't,
If you are not listening to us from in America, like Americans are programmed to work, right? Like you are not successful unless you have a job. You are not successful unless you have all of these check marks, these milestones in your life. And so like other countries have it they figured it out, right?
Some of them also push even harder. Right?
Yes, but it's like, but there's countries that are like, hey, you guys have 10 weeks vacation paid. And you're like, that is awesome. Where am I going? Where in the world am I going to go visit?
Yes.
because you have 10 weeks.
Yeah.
No, that's true. But it's funny. I have my godson. He's a highway patrol. He just went to Cal. He didn't need a degree to be highway patrol, but he's like, fuck, I want to get paid more. So I was like, what are you going to study? He's like, photography.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? He goes, yeah, I want to take photography. I'm like, does that? He goes, it doesn't matter. They don't give a shit. They just want that piece of paper.
Yeah.
It's like, fucking kid, you're a goddamn genius. You know,
And then
like,
you can side hustle as a photographer.
yeah.
Like that's
My degree has nothing to do with the fuck I'm doing now, bro. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, hit that pose.
You have communications?
Yeah. It was me and all the basketball players, bro. Yeah. Motherfuckers never showed up for a goddamn test, though, but I was there. We weren't even like Division 1 then. Like, really,
No,
guys?
I know.
We're fucking like whack. We're like whack right now. What
You're
are we
using
doing?
it right now, bro.
What's that?
You're using your degree right now.
Yeah, but and in all honesty, I am. But that wasn't like do that to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, and that's the thing. It's like I think people just want to know that you can grind, bro. Look, before we talk to this movie, we're gonna talk about what John said we needed to talk about this show. He's super excited about this show. Did you watch it, Burger? No, you haven't watched it yet? The rest of us?
Of course he did.
Yes.
Okay.
There's only one show with Pedro
course he
Pascal
didn't watch
and
this.
a kid that I care about. And that trailer came out and I want it now.
So, okay, we'll talk about that when that happens. It's only one review per show. But like with The Last of Us.
Who made these rules up? I was here to talk about I watched The Fablemans. It was beautiful.
Oh, did you watch it?
Yeah.
Was it really, really good? Nice?
It's cool. It's a very good movie.
I'm gonna have to check that out because I did see that on there. Really? I'm gonna have to check that out. But we're talking about The Last of Us. Stevens, you never played.
never played.
Enrique, you never played.
I played some of it.
You played some of it.
I knew the beginning of it.
I play around too much.
How in a barca? Yeah, you're not gonna watch it. Okay, so I feel like I'm good. Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
I want to hear about the clickers.
How I was blown away at how they almost made that entry scene worse than the video game. It was more heartbreaking than the fucking video, bro. When he's holding her, dude, I couldn't watch, bro. And I know I'm emotional right now, but still, bro, like I couldn't watch. Shit was heartbreaking, dog. And I will tell you, when I first played that game, I remember I told you, I put the controller down.
Yeah.
I went and I kissed my kids on the forehead and I sat back down and I started playing again. Yeah. But the way they introduced her and made you think, because my wife's watching it, so I love watching it with my wife because she's never played the game. She only knows that I fucking love the game, but she's never played it. I've never talked about it. And she's just like, she thought she was the main character. I'm like, fuck yeah, you guys are smart. You did that. You make it seem like she's
of course
the one, right? Bro, that shit. Oh,
so that's why the show didn't affect me the same way as the game did, because I already knew.
Oh, it's still
because when I played the game, I thought she was the main character.
Yeah.
I thought she was the girl on the cover.
Yeah. Good call.
And so when that happened to her, it fucking hit me, dude. I was like, I remember sitting there like, what the fuck? Like,
yeah.
And it was sad.
Oh.
And so of course I knew this watching this episode, and Amanda's watching it with me.
Oh, okay, cool.
And the whole time I'm like, babe, like don't look at me, because I was expecting.
Don't look at me.
Don't look at me. Yes. Don't look at me.
Yeah, dude.
But it happened, and it didn't affect me in that way. The anticipation almost was harder than what actually happened for me.
Oh, I thought they both knocked it out of the park, bro.
They did a really good job of building that moment for me.
No, yeah. The whole you feel like it's your angst, like what's gonna happen next or whatever and stuff like that.
I was telling, because the whole time I'm like, dude, like it's gonna be just wait, and my wife was, what's gonna happen? Mm-hmm. And then what the whole thing with the neighbor was new.
Yeah.
And so she was kind of wondering what was going on, but eventually it happened. And it was funny because the next day she texted me. She was like, "Hey, I want to play that game."
Dude, it's amazing, yo. And part 2 holds up. So Stevens, you're brand new. You've heard of it, right?
You guys have talked about it. And
I know. So what'd you think?
I knew what was happening and I knew what to expect, but it was still like I didn't know how, I guess.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I was in right away, because I was like, oh, they have a fun relationship, right? Like she's taking care of him, and he's working really hard and trying to do this and that, and she steals from him, and that was pretty awesome.
But she doesn't.
Yeah, but I put the change back.
Yeah.
Just to get a gift, and
like they're back and forth, like they're giving each other shit.
Yeah.
Like that was.
I guess you guys love each other.
But the little hints along the way was like, oh, this is gonna hurt. The beginning with the dudes talking about the spores and the fungus, dude, and all that.
That.
I know.
I'm watching that. I'm like, fuck you guys, because it sounds real. It sounds like it's an old, And I didn't care for that.
I was like, oh shit, the fungus are gonna take over. So
I was gonna buy some mushrooms. I'm like, fuck you guys. I put it back in the shower. I was like, I'm buying this shit.
Yeah. So like every little step along the way, and then once stuff happens, it's jarring, and then once you kind of fast forward a little bit and you're in that world already, it's just,
and that's how the game does it.
Yeah,
the game does exactly, like it goes from that scene to like him kind of waking up off of bed, I think, if I'm not mistaken. It just says 20 years later, right? Or whatever, and you're just like, what the fuck? And at first I disliked that. In the game I'm like, really? Like 20, like what the fuck? No, what happened? And then you're like, oh yeah, what the fuck? Yeah.
That thing with the little boy in Boston, that was not part of the game either, too. Right?
Little boy. Oh no. And that was kind of crazy. That was hard to watch, the little kid. I love
that showed like the distrust they have of whatever, right? Like we've come far enough to detect it, but we don't trust shit.
I like the student with the bracelet, like that little thing where it's shining on her shirt, and then you look over and I'm like
switching,
and he was like, "What the fuck are you talking?"
And then you hear a cough at the last, like
which makes me think of like during COVID, somebody would cough, like, "Hey, motherfucker," or you need a coffee. Like, you're like trying to hold it in because you don't want to fucking cough in front of people. Yep. So yeah, that was pretty cool. But so this little girl is a little girl from
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones, right? Mm-hmm. And somebody told me she kills it in Game of Thrones.
She's such a fucking badass in Game of Thrones.
Okay.
Wow.
So she's gonna kill it.
Yeah.
And you, Pedro, you love. But so like,
you know who I was also in Game of Thrones? Pedro Pascal.
Yes, he was. Yeah.
So, and he's killing it so far. You know, so I'm really excited about that. I love that the leader of the Fireflies is a voice actor from the game.
Which is cool.
That's fucking cool.
Like, I didn't know that, but you were telling me that. And I like the incorporation of that. It's details, right?
So the fact that they do those things like that has been cool. Showing the clickers and showing like how they are, like, I've loved that so far. Like the way they're like, it's different. It's a zombie, right?
Is that the zombie?
Yeah, it's zombie, but it's different, right? Like it's not just your regular Walking Dead kind of a zombie or whatever.
They're fast.
They're fast.
My wife was like, why are they so fast?
Yeah, they're fast.
yeah, they're fast. That fucking old lady pops up, dude. You're like, yo, you know, and that's wild. So, and the whole story behind her and how Ellie, which, if I'm not mistaken, and I don't know if you can look this up, Stevens, I was trying to tell my wife, didn't Elliot Page get pissed because the character looked didn't she sue them?
Yeah.
Yeah, right? Because it did look just like her in the game. And I remember that I was always thinking, dude, if they ever she'd be perfect for it. He would be perfect for it, you know, or whatever. Because I remember that was a thing that it looked like Elliot Page, and it also not sounded, but the name was Ellie. So it was kind of like, bro, are you guys not even trying to like hide it or whatever? But so that threw me off a little bit because she doesn't look like the girl in the game or whatever. But dude, right away you're just kind of like, I like her. Like what's they played an 80s song or whatever. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, now I know what that means. Like her little kind of like badassness already. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, they introduced her in a different way.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. And I'm like, okay, cool. I like this.
So it says that she didn't sue. She just accused them of.
Aha, that's me.
She did it like that too. Like she showed up somewhere and just did that. So yeah, it was, bro. It was like they didn't even try. Like with the fact that they called her Ellie, I thought that was hilarious. But I'm totally in, and I love how the show ended. I love what they know now. I'm excited to see what happens, and I love that line by the guy on the radio who's like, "There's worse things out there than clickers, bro."
Blade's coming,
and man, when you play that,
motherfuckers always trying to skate uphill.
you find out there is worse things, and we've talked about that. That's something that is cool in a horror movie, right? When it's like we're the villains, not really.
Well, that's kind of like monsters. It did have the same like once you got to Zombie World, right? Mm-hmm. It did have a feel of like The Walking Dead a bit, where society has changed.
Yeah.
Right. And not, that's not my only enemy. Right.
Yeah. When they did the fast forward.
Yeah. Like once you get to that apocalypse, like, okay, this is how we're surviving. This is how we're living. I make the rules. All you fuckers get in line to get the little bit of things I'm going to give you or whatever. So like all of that. And then the hints to what's to come. Mm-hmm. It's that dread of, oh yeah, when there's nobody keeping us in line.
When it's truly a lawless land.
People are your enemy.
We're fucking horrible. Like, I mean, that's what it's going to end up being.
So, and that is coming. And that's kind of where it's like, wow, because they're going out on the road. Right. So I imagine, because I don't know what's coming, but I imagine they're going out on the road to go try to track down his brother or whatever, who signaled with the song. Is that what that was happening?
No, he just hasn't came back. And
what was the song on the radio when they've left the apartment then? It was the 80s song.
So maybe some shit's going down. So who knows? I don't know. That can mean anything because that just means something bad's happening.
Okay.
Right?
So that's why I was like, so what? So I was
what's the bad thing?
Yes.
Yeah, you're right.
And they're going to get in the car. They're going to go out in the wild and they're going to experience some shit. So.
And now because of this, and if it's popular, I'm sure the guy's like, oh, we're open to a third game. And I'm like, fuck, because I don't know how I felt after the first one. I remember me and Italian Silent had like a fucking discussion. We're like, bro, I don't like this. Like, we were all like, no, because it ends so well. And then they fucking, and I haven't talked to him about it if he's played the second one, but I did. And I was fucking, you fuckers did it again. You did it again, bro. Completely different, but just nailed it again. So is it, and I think I asked you, is season 1 game 1? Is it multiple seasons? Because Mark is right, dude. We're promised these things, and especially HBO Max recently has been fucking like, nope. And I'm like, oh, bro. But it's a hit, so hopefully, right? Mm-hmm. But Westworld was a fucking hit, bro, and it went away. So, like, I wonder, like, almost like, and you kind of said this one time, Stevens, almost like knowing there's an end. Mm-hmm. We got 5 seasons in, and this is what this is going to be. And you're kind of like, cool, you have an idea of where you want the story to go. you know. But I don't know. I was just wondering if there's anything out there because that game's so big. I don't think you could put because I think it's 9 episodes. Is the first
9,
season?
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I just don't feel like you could put that whole game into 9 episodes. But who knows? You know, of course, I'm also thinking of the time of killing the things and moving to the next part where this is just not going to do that, obviously, or whatever. Because I heard there's not a lot of action scenes in it. It's not action scene heavy. It's like character development and dialogue heavy. It's not really action.
Season 1 will cover the entire events of the first game.
So then that's it.
I don't know. Well, I imagine if they get picked up, which is it's their biggest show since Game of Thrones, I think is what they said, right? Mm-hmm. So,
but it also had a smaller audience than the Dragon one.
House of the Dragon?
Like the first season?
Yeah.
I mean, the first episode?
Mm-hmm.
I think this will be a word of mouth one though. What the Dragon one had, the thing is it had Game of Thrones attached to it. Mm-hmm. And I think once people start watching this and be like, bro, you know
what this has attached to it? Mandalorian, bro. No, here is where I hope that because there is no material between 1 and 2,
that's what
they don't do Game of Thrones season 5 or 6 where which one was it? What's the last one they did?
5 was last season.
5 where they like here
8.
He hasn't written his.
That's a hidden question.
They kind of made it up.
They made it up, and so then it's like
They made it up with
because the books weren't.
They made it up with the author kind of being involved. And he okayed.
And it turned out not to be the best season, right? So then I hope that's not what. But when executives see this and they're like, "This is actually pretty," they seem to like it. They hated Velma for whatever reason. I don't know why, but
they said Velma's shitty.
Yeah.
But they can't make a season 2 with off the second game.
The second game jumps like 10 years. Or no, maybe that's too much. But she's a teenager.
Yeah, she's
like in the first one, she's more of a kid. Like, and I feel like the girl's a kid, right? Where in the second one, she's like exploring her relationship, her sexuality at the same time. Joel's older, so she's older. It wouldn't make sense if you did it in 2 years, 3 years. It would make sense if you did it in 7 years.
Okay.
So I don't know.
They can recast. They did it in House of Dragon.
Oh, did they do that?
They did it like from episode 1 to 2.
Oh, really?
They went for
you get
like
attached to these kids and then they're gone.
Cool. No, and if they did that, all I had to do game 2.
The girl that you saw in all the posters for the House of Dragon was in 2 episodes.
Because he's right. My fear is you say, "Oh, here's the in between."
Yes, and I want this Ellie, and I want Joel to be in this. And then they're like, "These are the wacky adventures that happened." And it's like, well, we closed this thing, and it seemed kind of perfect.
Yeah, it really is.
But now there's a side quest they have to go on.
Yeah. There's an animal sidekick. It's a dog. Yeah, like something like weird like that. Yeah, you're right. But I'm in 110%. It's enjoyable watching it with somebody who's never played the game because I can fill stuff in. And also, like, it's funny. She's like, "Why the fuck did you play this?" I'm like, right? She goes, I don't think she's not a big video game player. So this is a perfect example of like, this is what I'm telling you. There's not Pac-Man.
Yeah.
Like, no disrespect to Pac-Man, but this is different. Like, there's levels to this shit. And this is storytelling. Like, look how badass this is, you know? Because I'm like, they're doing a really good job of that. I've heard that there's 2 standout episodes, and one of them is a complete, like, not even part of the game. It's something that they kind of add. So I'm kind of excited to see what that is and stuff like that. So
maybe that's a good indicator as to
what if they can pull that off if they do it. Yeah, because supposedly it's one of the 2, like, best episodes of the season. It's kind of like a side story. So we'll have to do it.
Is it almost like when the Mandalorian came and visited Boba Fett, and that was the best? That was the best episode of that season,
bro.
No, hey, you know what? But back in the day, he would have to choose, right? Tom Selleck was supposed to be Indiana Jones, and then CBS is like, "Yeah, no, we're not giving you Tom Selleck. Yeah. Go find somebody else. You'll never find anybody better than Tom Selleck." And then he's like, I can do this, kid. Let's go." What?
But yeah, man, I'm in. So, Stevens, what are you thinking? You're in?
Oh, I will keep watching.
Yeah. And I'm so happy it is coming out once a week because we talked about a show that I was watching earlier and I muscled through it because it's there. See, but this way I won't have to. I can sit there and watch.
My thing, unlike John, who only wants to see him as the Mandalorian, I just want to see him. So I will just keep watching.
Is he on your list?
Oh, he
is a sexy man, bro.
But is he on the list?
Well, he's not on this list because he's not on the movies we're watching, but yes, he's on the list.
You know how the list works, right? We get to bring rando people in, bro.
I mean, if I just gotta make a hot guys list.
Cindy Crawford, can I add her to my list, please?
You didn't let me finish. Make a hot guy list.
You just want a hot guys list?
Yeah.
Colin Farrell's on there.
You can have your hot guy list. No one's gonna stop you. It's 2023. All right.
that dude from the show we watched, Reaper, is that the show? No, not Reaper. What? Reacher.
I do was a fucking hot dude, bro. He was. That man is like a mountain of a man, dude.
Yeah.
Like, fuck me, bro. Like, there's just there's levels to this.
Don't say that, though.
Don't say it. I'm fucking fine. Because
I said it. I know.
it's like when you look at a professional athlete and you realize we're not the same. Like, we're allegedly humans, but we're not the same, bro. There's just levels to this game, you know? And then fucking, hey, that dude's like fucking 250, 6'4", solid, bro. Like, what the fuck?
It's not
you
fair.
know, like,
It's not
crazy.
fair.
It's not fair. It's not fair, you know?
I get it.
I won't get skin cancer, but that's about it. All right, guys. So now we're going to move on to the movie for the week, and we'll come back after the break. And that was a trailer to. And what's the real name to this movie, Abarca? I'm sorry, because I have 401 Crazy Samurai, but that's not the actual name. What's the actual name, Abarca?
It is Kyo Samurai Musashi, or Crazy Samurai Musashi.
Thank you.
Also known as Crazy Samurai Musashi 400 versus 1.
Mm-hmm.
It says all that on the poster.
I'm looking at the poster. It literally says it right here.
It actually does. I'm looking at it too. You're not lying. Hey, yo, Barca. Hit him with the back of the box.
Hey, the most famous battle of swordsmen. Why'd you move on me screen? Swordsman, Miyamoto Musashi. Miyamoto fights against 588 enemies, one after the other. There is no room for error, no room for trivial, outdated, or unconvincing movements. You just
like plot, like character development. Directed
by Yuji Shimomura.
Hey,
there's
a plot.
It stars Tak Sakaguchi as Miyamoto Musashi and a whole bunch of people that don't barely talk. So,
okay, we're going to you, Enrique, but before we go to Enrique, because this is a special movie. Barca, what is this movie? So people know what the fuck we watched.
This movie is essentially one samurai fighting 588 other samurais for 77 minutes.
It's like 10 samurai that just repeat
themselves. It's all of them. All of Japan came
20.
out.
And it's literally a 77-minute
scene. Yes.
In between a little bit of character development.
The intro and the outro.
That's it.
That's it.
That is literally fucking it, right? There's a ton of questions, a lot of shit we're going to talk about because the Barca blew my mind with something that I didn't know about. So, Enrique, before you find all this stuff out that'll maybe make you hate it less or love it more, I don't know. Because I don't even fucking know the answer to this. What did you think of this movie?
I like the intro and I like the outro.
Outro, bro. Woo! What did you think of the 77 minutes?
I was bored.
At all?
Not really.
Yeah.
A lot of things bugged me about it. Even the lens they used to shoot that, like it turned into it looked like they shot it with an iPhone all of a sudden. Like the intro looked fucking amazing.
The still shot, bro.
I understand that but it looks completely different.
Yeah.
It doesn't match the intro and then it doesn't match the outro.
Not at all.
And I can appreciate the effort that they put in, the idea and the fact that they went for it. Like, good for them. Like,
you never saw Camera Guy Shadow.
No.
Okay, hold on. Don't up this movie when it doesn't deserve it. Because you saw a fucking guy crawl away. And that was bullshit.
He was still alive.
That's because he was dying.
And he didn't crawl away like, he's like, he crawled away like
he didn't know he was in Scream.
You know how I feel? You know how I feel about some of the Bruce Lee movies where like the guys they're taking turns and.
Let me answer your question. You're saying why don't they attack him from the back? Because samurai don't do that. I had to look that up.
Okay.
Because I was thinking that too. I was like, I feel like Enrique right now. Somebody stabbed his ass in the back. But what's weird is one guy does.
Yeah. Because there's a scene where you finally see guys get behind him and they're walking across the camera, like behind him,
super close.
And then one of them, and then I'm like, there's gotta be an honor thing where you don't go.
There is.
And I did have that, but as soon as I was thinking that, One of those motherfuckers went for it.
Yeah.
And he turned around and caught him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, see? Then.
Fact. I did hate that.
Yeah.
I hate that they did have one guy. So is that just trying to show us dishonorable? Like, why one? Make it more than one at least. Make it 10 or 12. Like, why just one?
But there was multiple times when in this 77-minute single shot where it would be like 5 of them. They would take turns. One of them would go be like, ah, like this. And then he would just caught him in the stomach.
How
and
was
then
it?
the next guy would be like, ah. And then
he looks like he's holding a shake weight. They all knew.
I hated that. That just takes me out of it. And
Stevens, 2 lists I want you to look for while we're talking. Best steal shots what is not steal shot? I'm sorry. What is it? Single shots in movies and best sword fighting in movies.
The opening scene is fucking amazing.
Beautiful.
I love the opening scene. There's some humor between the characters are in the woods.
When they cut the
old
butterfly
man and when he enters the scene,
it's gold time, bro.
Awesome. And then going into that long 77-minute single shot, it's like even the dialogue. He's like, he says something cool, like I don't know what he says. He says something where like it's gold time or something like that, you know. And then I'm like, oh shit, it's about to go down. I knew you guys mentioned the long 77-minute single shot scene, and I'm like, oh shit. And then it's like it looks.
It was slow.
It was really slow.
But samurai fighting is one shot, one kill fighting, right? It's not meant to be back and forth. It's meant to be.
It's efficient. It's efficient. It's very like boom, get out of here.
And
Bam.
then during the long scene, like when obviously he had to take breaks. Look, like I said, I'm not shitting completely. I don't want to sound like I'm shitting on it completely, because I understand they went for it. Like I said, I appreciate that the effort, the idea. It's just, it was gonna be a hard thing to pull off, and I had my doubts. And unfortunately for me, I just,
this 77 minutes, as much as you can try to appreciate it, holds nothing to the Protector 2-minute. No, what is it? Like a 3-minute? Almost. This is like the example of too much of a good thing.
Yeah.
Because we see the scene at the end, and dude, that blows my mind.
The end when he gets attacked,
bro,
that was fucking awesome,
amazing. Yeah. But Abarca, why was that amazing? How was this movie constructed? Because it's kind of weird. I didn't know that till you told me.
So apparently, this movie was filmed in 2011. That whole scene,
the long scene
was filmed in 2011. And they ran out of money, or for whatever reason, they could not continue it.
Okay.
So they had to crowdfund it. They had to crowdfund it in 2019.
Okay.
Yeah. So they came back, and with that money, they shot a beginning of the movie. They shot an ending of the movie. So your argument that this movie was lensed badly, they were using 2011 technology. Whereas now they're probably doing a red camera. And so the bookends are much slicker, right? Mm-hmm. And I feel that this director's grown probably in terms of style. So the end is probably what, in his mind, this movie should have been and looked like.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you know this, Abarca, but do you know if that scene was part of a maybe bigger epic that he had in mind to tell of the story of this guy? Because like I want to because this is there's a tale of this. You say he's a real samurai, real Ronin, and allegedly he had this battle.
We can get a prequel because they mentioned those 2 guys he killed.
Here's the thing: there are much better
versions of the story.
There's much better. And this is I don't even know if Musashi fought 500 or 400 people. It's written down in history in history books, he had 60 duels and he did not lose.
Yeah.
He was a master of wielding 2 swords. He was a samurai that became a Ronin, who became a writer, who then was like, you know what? I don't need this. I'm going to become a Buddhist.
Guess who wrote the story that he killed 600? It was him. I remember when I killed 5. Man, No, you didn't. That's what it was. But like, so you don't know if this was going to be part of an epic, maybe
No, there now. If you are interested in the tale of Miyamoto Musashi, there is a trilogy of movies called Samurai 1, 2, and 3, and those are much better depictions of this. I don't know, and so I don't know where I stand with this movie. I appreciate the effort, and I feel that the fights started getting better towards the end.
They did. I agree.
Once the music hits, once they have effects for to use it right, because at one point there was no blood in this movie. Like that came
in the beginning,
digitally.
Yeah.
No, the digital blood came from the crowdfunding.
So it was going to be bloodless.
It was going to be bloodless.
American Samurai style. Oh no, American Ninja style.
which is understandable. I mean, I get it. Like if you don't have the money to.
But you can't have blood on those same guys coming
You
back.
can't do single shot.
Times.
Yeah. They can't walk up all bloody.
Yeah.
Or
like,
can they?
Yeah. That's, you know.
And the throughout the scenes when he had to obviously take a break.
I don't mind though.
They do this thing where like the side characters kind of come in and do shit to kind of give him a break so he doesn't have to be on screen.
Well, it's like real life, right? Like that's what I thought. Like if it's this 77 minutes, I'm gonna need a break because
I need to drink some fucking water, guys.
Yeah, the water breaks were a little corny to me. Like
he's like, I don't want my fighters getting water at all.
No, not that at all. I just everywhere he stopped, there happened to be a little thing of water. Like it's just conveniently placed wherever.
You don't have little water bottles?
Just hanging everywhere
Yeah.
in the neighborhood. I didn't like the crawling away. I didn't like the repetitiveness of the characters. I know you can't get 588. Well, shit, maybe you can't. But I don't like when they go off screen grabs.
You can, but not for that amount of budget.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. Because after a while, you're like, bro, that's the same fucking guy. It's like the third time I see this motherfucker.
Like RR made it seem like there are.
Yeah, but after then there was 10 more times after that. That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
right? Like RR made it seem like there was a mob.
Yeah.
At the beginning, you're like, oh my God, he's got to fight all these people.
Oh, like when he's beating It looks like everybody. Yeah, you're right. That's a great example of the other way of doing it, where it truly feels like it's all those people. You know, this felt like it was the same 6 dudes over and over and over. You know, I didn't care for the end. No, not the last. Last scene was amazing, but I didn't care that he gets surrounded in a circle. And then it fades, and then 7 years. I'm like, wait, but what? Why don't you just stop it after he kills the guy that's like, I'm here.
When the rain.
I am Kodo, Grandmaster.
Why do I need to see him get surrounded again?
Yeah, and then end it right there.
Yeah, and like it was just shit like that I'm like, what?
Like no one, like we've lost count of how many he's actually killed.
I counted them all. 588 or whatever.
Stop.
It would be interesting to why I don't think you would be able to tell.
And then I don't know if this is just a lost in translation thing, but he literally talks about 588, but then it says 401 on the poster. Fuck, that's an easy fix, bro. Like, why are we? Is that just a translation?
Take out 15 minutes of the movie,
or say 588 versus 1.
But I think 400 it's a nice even number.
Well, 500 is nice even too. Even that would make more sense.
But no, like it's.
Oh, I guess. I don't know. I was just like, shit like that annoys me. I'm like, bro, if the story tells us 588, put fucking 588 on there. Like, if that's what the story is, right?
When he gets surrounded after he kills the guy in the rain, I'm like, oh, there's there's more.
Yeah.
It's okay. And then it just ends. And then it's like 7 years later or something.
7 years later, yeah.
That was odd. It was like,
I didn't understand why you surrounded him again. And didn't show that.
Could have easily just after he kills the guy in the rain, then 7 years later after that.
No.
Well, and it leads you to believe he's been fighting for 7 years. that's how I felt. I was like, he's been fighting for 7 years.
I need to take the
shit. Here, let's just jump into how do you make this better. It fades to black, and you hear exactly, and then you're like, oh, dear. And then just the sound of people dropping, and multiple people dropping. I'm sorry. That's everybody in this movie there's no dialogue, and it's like, oh, dunk, crawl away.
Isn't that the first thing I said when you said, what am I watching? And I was like, a lot of grunting.
I had no idea how to feel about this movie after, because I love the beginning and the end so much.
I know.
But I respect the middle, but when you see better versions of it, and it didn't take 77 minutes to do. You're just like, oh man,
it's difficult because we appreciate the effort, but it's like it just doesn't.
I feel the guy had an idea for like, this is gonna be the greatest thing ever, and they're like, how much money we got? Oh, all right, let's go. Let's go.
We're gonna do this instead.
And maybe they're like, all right, well, no, but we'll have. I don't know. Maybe they're like, we're gonna have money, and then there's gonna be blood splurts, and we're gonna have things, and maybe we can change the color digitally of the clothes.
The clothes, different ones. Because didn't it seem like whenever there was a guy with there was something, okay, when it was a certain colored shirt or like what, I don't know what to call them, so sorry, or pants, I can't remember, that would be the ones he would take the swords away from. And he wouldn't do that to anybody else. And I'm like, oh, because it must be hard. So like, oh, when it's you, I got to take your sword away. Because he did it multiple times and then he would like lose them again. And then.
But I think those were people from the actual clan, right? Because there's 100 students.
And then it's the people that
and then mercenaries.
Yeah.
No, but it's just weird that that's the only people you took the swords from.
Well, because they had quality swords.
And I wonder if like, oh, when it's you, I got to take your sword. Because like, I'm sure this is a long ass scene, right? There got to be ways to help him remember what is what. Here's another thing too. Like, realistically, if we watch martial arts movies, Kung Fu, karate, or whatever, and they fought for reals the smart way, like if they went in there and they'd use jujitsu and they would just choke dudes out, that would be boring. Right. So instead we get stylized fights and it looks way fucking cooler. Right. Like it doesn't make sense to jump 4 feet across a room and knee somebody. You would lose all that. Like why? But it looks cool. So they do it. So I wonder when we watch some of the better movies or some of these more stylized swords fights, we like it. And maybe this was too real. And I don't know. I don't know what I'm looking because I don't know sword fighting. So I don't know if this was a realistic sword fight. And maybe that's why I was like, oh, bro, come on, make it fake. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like we don't want a guy actually pointing the gun, lining up. No, we want fucking the dude holding 2 guns and just shooting everybody, right? Like we want it to look fake because that's funner to watch.
Well, like Shogun Assassin, another samurai movie I love, has a baby cart that has guns in it. And there's other people that jump around. And there's like, it's almost like this comic book version of a samurai movie.
Realistic gunfight. No, I want Antonio Banderas guns flying in the air and he's fucking whipping guns and doing shit. Like that's what I don't want to see normal shit.
I mean, they nailed it in that last scene.
Thank you. That is way more fun than watching the other scene because it's stylized. That's not realistic, right? Where maybe what we were watching is more real.
I feel, in a way, it's more realistic because they actually all attack him at the same time. And he's
that
like
part of it.
And he's fast. Like you can, and it seems like they speed it up a little bit, which is cool. But he's like taking them all out while he's surrounded. Gotcha. He's like legit.
I guess
surrounded.
I'm saying more real in the sense of the slices he makes and the moves that he uses are more probably that single shot, one time, go to the gut, go to the, like you're using actual things like a samurai. And I'm guessing because I don't know what a fucking sword fight.
Yeah, in the beginning in that long scene, like he's just like I don't know. It's like kind of odd the way he's standing and
But that's the way you stand.
I imagine so, right?
Or I don't know. Or maybe they don't. I don't know. So, Steven, I don't know if you found anything. Is there any list for any like great sword fighting in the movie? Something we could, and then I know swords are different. So I know maybe like,
so I did.
They're like Earl Flynn and.
I did samurai sword fight.
The Adventures of Robin Hood.
Yeah. Oh, is that legit?
That's badass.
Okay. So
I put best samurai fights in movies.
Okay. What do we got?
And I've got 2 that you can choose from. I've got Kung Fu Kingdom website, or I've got Collider.
Yeah, Collider's probably bigger than Kung Fu Kingdom.
Okay, so their top 10 is this. Hero.
Oh yeah, it's a different type of sword, but it's hero, right?
Hero.
Yeah.
With the Chinese tank.
Yeah.
Yeah, the when he fights Danian. And then Princess Bride.
I will now use my left hand.
Yeah. I know something you don't know.
Wow, that's cool.
You've seen that, right?
I do.
Okay. Recently, yeah.
By the way.
Recently? That's cool, man.
You wouldn't happen to have 6 fingers on your left hand, would you? No.
That's cool, though, to know that they're
yeah.
But it doesn't necessarily say most realistic, just best sword fight. Okay, gotcha. Okay.
10 great movie sword fights.
Okay.
Samurai 3, Duel at Ganru Island.
Yeah.
We'll have to watch another samurai one at some point and like just see what the difference is.
So the samurai is the trilogy that I'm talking about.
Okay.
Yeah, it's about the same dude. Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring.
Swords where?
Aragon, dude. Aragon, he's fighting the orcs.
Oh, yeah.
And The Hulking Beast Alert.
Okay.
And then he chops his head off at the end.
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Yeah. Hell
The
yeah.
girls.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I always think too.
Yeah. The Duelists, which is French Lieutenant Gabriel Farad, who is Harvey Keitel, is pursued by fellow Lieutenant Armand Dubé.
Is he the bad lieutenant in that?
Keith Carradine.
1977?
Yes.
Ooh.
The Duelists.
Oh, it's Ridley Scott's first directorial debut.
Yes.
Huh. Okay.
Apparently a good sword fight.
At one point, do they say, I challenge you to a duel and smack each other with gloves?
I don't know.
We should see it.
Possibly. Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace.
Oh, yeah.
This is your Darth Maul scene.
Darth Maul, bro. That's a badass scene, bro.
But I would say the one in 3
With?
where with Obi-Wan and Anakin
Oh.
on no, but it starts it's like, Anakin, you were meant to destroy the Sith, not become it.
But I feel like that the Darth Maul one is just like
It's very
Stylized.
he's a caged animal.
Yeah.
And he's just set loose.
But even when like
Well, and he's fighting 2, I think, is why it outweighs the other.
Oh, I'm
they-
sorry. Obi-Wan had the high ground.
I get you. I better
He
movie and
fights
whatnot,
on little
but
robots on top of lava.
it's true. The next one they have is John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum.
No, and he's got this.
When
You've seen that
he's
one, right?
fighting Mark Dacascos.
Oh, okay.
Our
Have I seen
resident.
the third one?
Not like that though, bro. Not like that, bro. Okay. What else we got?
The Adventures of Robin Hood with Errol Flynn.
Errol Flynn. You see, I know old movies.
And then
So it was Errol Flynn like a trained swordsman? Like, did he like?
Errol Flynn was a freaking man's man, dude.
He was a Renaissance man.
he probably did train. He was
Yeah,
probably a
that's-
fencer.
Yeah. I know
Right?
a fencer too, but he just tries to sell me stolen shit. What's number 1?
Different kind of fence. Different kind of fence. What do you think?
What do you think? I have no idea.
Is that Kill Bill?
Yes, it is.
Kill, you called it.
Volume
But
1.
okay,
Volume 1.
But that's a super stylized sword fight. Like
Yeah.
that's not a realistic sword
And
fight.
are they talking about that's
The
the House of
88.
Flying
88.
Daggers?
Yeah, it's the 88.
Yeah,
No, it's not
but
that. Yeah, it is a House of Flying Daggers.
it would be cool. So it seems like the only samurai movie on there is Samurai 3.
Yeah.
So it'd be cool to see another samurai movie. We've seen some already.
Yeah.
But like the difference between this movie and the other samurai movie, what was the name of the other one?
But I think they're not
The
sword
Blind.
fights.
Oh,
They just-
Satoichi.
it's like it's a one and done, right? Like if you're a good samurai, it's not a fight. It's
But let's
not
see
a
what a
battle.
Samurai 3 looks like. It'd be cool to see what it looks like in Samurai 3.
Yeah.
To get an example. Because you're right. It's different between that and
Yeah.
what maybe
I think that's why we don't see more samurai movies. They're not sword fights. It's
a
sword
one and
killing.
done.
Like it's right. Like it's
So how
It's a
was
slash,
this
right?
movie received in Japan? Was it a banger?
so it's not been released. Like it's a video on demand kind of movie, and I can't find any box office
So
info.
it didn't do well. Like,
Except-
it wasn't a big deal.
I
then.
think
Well, no,
they probably just sold it to.
International
Yeah.
release in
Oh, is it?
2021. Video release. So international releases is August 21st, 2021. Video release March 2nd, 2021. So it's on video first. And it's not, they have no box office numbers
This is
whatsoever.
not
It's Blu-rays.
This is not the RRR of Japan right now,
No.
not.
And they've made $13,147.
and 7 of those are mine.
Okay, so it wasn't
It's not like a
Okay.
movie release.
So
I think it's a stylized thing where the director's like, here's my thing. Enjoy it.
So I have seen this movie from, and I was only shown the last scene.
Oh,
So
God.
based on that, I was like, "This is that
Damn,
movie."
you got catfish, dog. You got catfish.
And you know what happened? No,
You showed up and it was a dude.
That last scene's good.
The first scene and the last scene are amazing.
I want a further adventure with him in
Just-
this world based on that last scene.
Just hearing you talk about him, it sounds like his life was amazing.
Yeah.
It'd be cool to see that life played out, you know, and how he went from this to the Ronin to the even the author.
Hold
part
on,
of
Enrique's
it.
ready to rap. Dun, 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 dun,
Spaghetti,
dun, dun.
spaghetti, spaghetti.
Yo, listen.
But like, yeah, man, like and it sucks because I feel like this movie gave me nothing about him.
Yeah.
I even like that the end, he didn't use a sword. He used that like hook thing.
Oh yeah, dude, that shit was dope.
Dope.
He cut that guy's fingers.
Oh, yeah, dude. Oh, so cool. So cool.
So
weird movie.
My recommendation came based off of the ending of this movie.
Yeah, you got Catfish, bro.
You know what? We should always go to Shogun Assassin.
We should always go to Skinner and look what else is on there. Oh, because this was, and I honestly, I'm sitting here, and it's not going to be a top 10 for me. I don't think it's going to be a top 10 for anybody.
Enrique says it's a top 9.
But a part of me almost wants to put it on the shittiest list. But at the same time, I respect what they try. Like, I don't even know where I respect it. I don't know. I don't fucking know how I feel about this movie. It's weird. It's just weird how the beginning's so good, the end's so good, and the middle's so long and bad. Or boring, not even bad, boring.
It's a little too long.
It doesn't have music. It doesn't have dialogue. It doesn't have his internal monologue being like, what do you do? All right.
Ooh,
6 guys this way, 7 guys this way. All right. Let's do this move. Boom. I love when they run at him, and that's when there was like, he
went from side to side.
Yeah.
Like,
boom, boom.
How'd they run at him? Oh, Enrique?
Oh no, you gotta
do this.
I'm just gonna have to we all use these shake weights. Like, yeah, I don't know, man. It was weird. It was weird. I don't even know. Enrique, how do you make this movie better?
You take out that whole 77 minute.
You make it a 20-minute episode, or you do something different.
Yeah, you don't. I mean, it was like I said. Appreciate the effort, but it just doesn't work. There's a reason why everybody doesn't do this.
I got a better one. I got it. His goal is to kill the kid.
Okay. Because he's a new head of the clan.
Yes, but he has to travel. So it's essentially a video game. This is a video game. Mm-hmm. This is really a video game, right? That you're like, oh, it's a beat 'em up. And the beat 'em ups.
Smash TV.
Yeah, the beat 'em ups weren't always, they were fun for what you were playing, but then it's like,
there's no point to this.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so he has to venture from point A to point B. And in between point A and point B are the 400 people, samurais that he has to kill.
But there's inner monologue. You find out more things about
boom,
him.
And so boom, boom, boom. All right. And then there's a runner that keeps saying, Musashi just killed the Tagawa clan. And then he goes to the next one and he's like, oh my God, the Yoshidas are done.
You do the opening scene like they did it.
And it's still 77 minutes.
And then you do multiples of the end scene where he gets caught somewhere and he gets confronted by a group of people, and that same fucking fight scene where he takes those fools out and the way he did it at the very end, do that times 5.
Yeah.
Broken up.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And you can
different stylized clans,
and you can,
maybe.
And you still follow him.
Yeah.
And it still can be a 77 unbroken shot, but you're following this runner that goes from this guy to this guy, and then when he reaches it, he's like, I'm here.
Or break it up 5 times. Like, just fuck it. Break it up 5 times and give me a little monologue in between and a little something. Like break it up. It's okay. Yeah, like, fuck it. It's all right. We don't need it one shot. I mean, it's cool, man. I mean, you take a piss. Like,
he finds a river where he gets his water from that, so it's not just a perfectly placed fucking water bottle.
Driver that parks his car.
Everybody knows that in every prefecture, you hang a bottle of water. That's why
So the big deal with this was a one shot. Stevens, did you find anything about one shots? Is there a list? Okay, best one shots. We're covering it all today, guys.
Collider's got you again, or I can go BuzzFeed.
Ooh, what if we do? Is it top 10? Let's go top 10 in both. Fuck it, I'm feeling crazy. And then after we do one shots, we're gonna do cum shots. Okay, go.
That's a different list. I gotta pull that. Okay, well, I'm going BuzzFeed first then. So this is BuzzFeed's 15 best scenes shot in a single take.
Okay, that's what we're doing.
Number 15, It's a Great White from Jaws.
Can I guess? 1940. What was that new one? That's that one shot that people love and rave about.
1917.
1917. That's what I'm going to go with that one. But go ahead. Continue. That's my pick for number 1.
I thought you were talking about Jaws, and I'm like, what are you trying to guess?
So Jaws. Okay.
Jaws. One take fight in Creed.
Yes, that's a good one with Gabriel Rosado, the actual monster.
Yes. Mm-hmm. That's a good one.
The hospital shootout from Hard Boiled.
Hey, that's a one shot?
It's a winner.
Huh. I have to see that again. I don't remember it being a winner. Even when the kid pees on his leg?
That
kid was like, I'm holding it. Let's go.
No, that one's probably not the. That's 12 is Tower Fight from The Protector.
Okay.
That's 12. Okay.
Number 11 is the Bagar Chase from The Adventures of Tintin.
The cartoon?
The CG one, yeah.
That's how.
Agree to disagree. If I can animate it,
How is that a one shot?
I can make it a oneer.
I don't know.
It is a cool. It's a one where they're doing the chase. Yeah, that is actually really cool. But how is that a one shot? Wow. I agree with you on that one.
Just reading you what's on the
Spielberg
list.
wanted to be a one shot.
We should have used the BuzzFeed list. Is what I told you. What do we got?
This is the BuzzFeed list,
bro.
bro.
The Collider one, like I told you. What do we got?
At number 10 is A Day at the Beach in Atonement.
Oh, I hate Atonement.
Number 9 is The Car Chase from Children of Men.
Yep.
Number 8 is the opening scene in Gravity.
I've never seen that movie.
It's cool.
That's a 17-minute one.
Damn. Okay.
Number 7 is Bomb in the Trunk in Touch of Evil.
Yeah. Okay, so but here's what makes it impressive. The wonders that are done with film. Because a film negative or a film reel is it's 10 minutes, right? 8 to 10 minutes, depending on how you're shooting it. Yeah. So when you do digital, I can do a 77-minute shot.
Is number 1 1917?
That's what I was thinking.
I'm not there. I'm only on number 7. I didn't
just
look ahead.
God damn it. What else we got? Okay.
Calm down. Respect Orson Welles' genius.
Rosebud.
Number 6 is the big wheel scene in The Shining.
That's why she stopped you. She just wanted to say The Shining.
Nope. Number 5 is the hallway fight in Old Boy.
Yeah.
We should watch
it's like American Old Boy.
Oh, is it American Old Boy?
No, it's not.
Oh, I was going to say gross.
No, that's not.
And that movie's gross.
Number 4 is Tower of Terror in Atomic Blonde.
Oh, I've never seen that. Okay.
Number 3 is The Coffee Run in Baby Driver.
Oh, yeah.
Number 2 is Entering the Copacabana in Goodfellas.
Yeah. Yeah, he followed. They're like following him. He's walking in and
Ray Liotta? Or
are they gonna is Snake Eyes on this?
The G.I. Joe one?
That was number 2. That was number 2. So I'm at the number 1.
Okay, number 1?
Number 1 is the opening shot of The Player.
Oh,
a Robert Altman film.
Don't even know that. No.
And then if we go to the Collider list, which I think is very different.
It's a Collider.
Their first one on the list is Birdman from 2014.
Michael Keaton?
There's a
3-minute
continuous shot in there.
Like I thought that has digital things in it.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Spectre from 2015.
The opening scene?
Yeah, the Day of the Dead parade.
Which they now continue to do in Mexico City.
What do you
mean? There's a parade, and that's just for the movie.
And now they do.
And they're like, "Hey, this is kind of cool. We should do a Day of the Dead thing."
That's dope.
Oh, and so that's a 4-minute scene. Children of Men again.
Is that one from both?
Well, he goes like he's on handheld, and he goes into the car, and he goes out of the car, and he goes into the thing,
and goes around and stuff. It doesn't tell me how long that one is.
4 days.
Gravity.
Again. So that was in both.
Yep. Because that's 17 minutes, right? Call Me By Your Name from 2017.
Call Me By Your Name.
That one.
You know what that is?
I don't.
That's the one with Timothée Chalamet.
I don't see how long that one is either. Let's see. The next one is The Shining.
On both lists.
That one is the bit. Yeah, it's the same one. Atonement again. And Goodfellas.
I might have to watch that again. I don't.
Atomic Blonde.
I want to watch that now too.
Old Boy.
I never want to watch that again.
And that was their last one. So a lot of that list is the same.
There's a lot
Yeah.
of those. Interesting.
What was the scene in The Shining?
It's a little kid on the big wheel, and he's going down the
When
hallway.
he's riding the hallways.
Okay.
And
And again, all super short except for Gravity.
Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah. And Gravity, I've never watched, so I can't speak on it, but like this might have been just too much of a good thing. Because that's a lot. It's
a lot. Well, it's an hour and 17 minutes.
Yeah.
Real time.
Mm-hmm.
Which
Killing dudes. Like it got repetitive. You're right. Like
yeah, and that is what it is. It's just a bit boring.
How long before you got bored?
It wasn't even how long before I got bored. It was how long before I started getting annoyed. If that makes more sense.
How long before you started getting annoyed?
Probably about like fucking 30 seconds in because of how slow it started.
Yeah.
He seems so slow at the beginning.
Within the 5 minutes, I'm like,
he's like
77 minutes.
It's not even like a cool step. Maybe
I was just
like a cool stance and like okay, and they start coming at him. It's kind of him by the tree, and he's kind of like, and then I'm like, okay, he's covering his back. Okay, but then he never does it, and then he doesn't, and then I'm like. Then I hated that scene when they walked in front of, when they literally rubbed his back. He's like, hey, buddy, you're going to be okay. Like, stab his ass. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Because one of you guys ends up doing that shit irked the fuck out. When I saw that guy hit, I was so pissed. I was like, why did one of you do it then?
mm-hmm.
And maybe not even somebody be like, how dishonorable, like, or something.
Hey, maybe that was a screw up and they didn't edit it.
Maybe
that dude messed
where they
up.
could have did it again. It wasn't even halfway into it was
pretty early.
They could have restarted.
I'm saying.
Hey, we got an hour. We got 177 minutes, or what is it? 77 minutes of sunlight, guys.
I was gonna say,
let's go.
Because it was real time, daytime, right? So maybe they were like, no, we're not resetting this shit. We'll just go.
We're just going. Yeah, that was just annoying because it to me it throws me off. We're like, wait, because I was like, samurai. Oh, they don't attack from the back. It's okay, cool. I can dig that. And then I'm like, wait, the fuck? It just threw me off.
Yeah.
So to me, it was very quick. What about you?
Yeah, it was within the 5 minutes, and then I kept watching, and I'm like, if this is all why am I gonna sit here and watch 77 minutes of this? Like I saw 5. Like I'm good. I legit was gonna turn it off.
Enrique John told us.
I told you I gotta watch it.
You're like, is this literally him just killing people? Oh shit, it is.
But I was like, no, I'll keep watching. Mm-hmm. Maybe they do something cool.
Then they did.
And the very end, I'm glad I did.
Yeah,
because I would have missed out on that at the very end. Because that shit was.
I enjoy really whenever when a grandmaster or one of the bosses shows up.
Yeah.
I agree with you on that too, but it was few and far between, and that was a problem. So, okay, Enrique, would you tell people to watch this movie?
Ooh, fuck. Ooh, yeah, just to know, just so you know what it is. Like,
okay,
it's not something you. 77 minutes single shot, like it's not.
I'd watch a little bit, fast forward.
Yeah,
stop, watch a little bit, fast forward.
Yeah.
What did you say at Barker? Stop at every boss.
Yeah, I told Steven so. I said, hey, like you don't feel the need to watch this. Watch the beginning, then fast forward until you see him fight a boss, and then fast forward again until you do it, and then watch the end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, everything else is completely unnecessary.
So, would you tell people to watch it?
I would no. Look at the end of it. Let that be its own little short movie.
Yeah, like just show that at the beginning of a Pixar movie.
Yeah, he's like, why did you kill everybody on that day? And he starts backing up. He's all, are you a samurai? Why are you retreating? And then he's like, come at me.
And then fucking go time. Yeah, that would kind of be a cool little thing. I say this is the most you better be a fan of martial arts movies to watch this movie. If there's movies that I could have been like, hey, told my wife, sit down and watch this. And, like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, Hero, even some of the older ones, like there's a thing to it. If I told her to sit down and watch this, she would have fucking divorced me. It would have been, because this shit's not meant for anybody that's not into that kind of shit. Like, so you have to be into it. If not, don't. Really just watch that last clip. The beginning is super cool. Even right when he cuts that, right when he jumps, it's so cool. But then after that, man, it's rough. It's rough. If you're not a fan of that stuff. And even as a fan, there was points where I was like, oh, come on, man. Like, shit. Like, what's happening here? So yeah, you have to be a super fan.
Run to the store, come back. He's still fighting.
But even samurai fights are they're way different.
Well, like, I'm thinking of Kill Bill. That's way cooler. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah.
You know? So there's ways to do it. And again, but that's an American movie, right? So I would like to see these samurai movies that Abarca's talking about and see that take on it. We saw what's the blind samurai? Sorry.
Satoichi.
And it is a real quick fight, but there was other stuff going on. So we could kind of, there was more where this just was that. So I don't know. Yeah. I would say only if you're a fan, only. And even then be ready. But watch the end. Please make it to the end because the end is amazing. The end is some of the best stuff we've seen, like fight wise. It was really, really cool.
Yeah.
So I would say that. Do we have to look at the top 10 list, guys?
I do.
Do you, Parker?
Maybe.
Stevens, what's the top 10 list that nobody's gonna put one in on right now?
At number one.
Number one.
You have Fearless. Number 2 is the 36th Chamber of Shaolin. Number 3 is One Armed Swordsman. Number 4 is Everything Everywhere All at Once. Number 5 is Enter the Dragon. Number 6 is Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Number 7 is Police Story. Number 8 is Police Story 3 or Super Cop. Number 9 is The 5 Deadly Venoms. And at number 10, you have Ip Man.
Damn. No, for me.
Number 1 with a bullet.
That means no for Abarca. Enrique?
No, it's like number 66 for me.
Okay. But you wouldn't put it
That's
on the...
still pretty high.
92 movies, bro?
You wouldn't put it on the worst one?
No.
Like, that's how far-ranging it is. I feel like it's so beautiful at the end and at the beginning, but then I feel like I wish I could put it next to, like, American Ninja, which, I mean, I would put it below American Ninja. Like,
no, because those movies on the worst...
Have no redeeming
qualities. Have no opening scene and end scene like this.
No redeeming quality.
Yeah.
How dare you? Silent Rage has a picnic scene.
Let's call this the
Stop.
Dude, the fruit plate?
The list Enrique has issues
The fruit
with.
plate, bro, and that sex scene, bro.
And that driving scene where he's got to put that banner in.
Titties. What does he say?
You're just proving my point.
What does he say? No, I think I'm in love. Or what is it?
You know what? That movie has a whole bunch of redeeming things, guys.
There's a pair of redeeming qualities in that fucking movie.
It needs a rewatch.
Rewatch.
So this is where I have this. I have this at number 64.
Oh, wow.
It's after Only the Strong.
After Only the Strong. But
And
before what?
Before
Well, you fucking, I'm going to hate you so much if you say something crazy.
I know.
The Last Dragon.
Double Impact.
Fuck you.
Not doing it.
So behind, right behind this.
That last scene didn't get it. They only got it one above Double Impact.
Fistful of Vengeance, Death Warrant, Best of the Best 2, The One. I like this better than The One.
That was the sci-fi one.
Jet Li, yeah.
Wow. You like this better than The One?
I do.
This didn't even have one mouse testicle in it.
I know. Triple Threat, Double Dragon, and then you got
Triple Threat? That stylized
Triple Threat was
that's a Netflix one, right?
Yeah.
With
wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's one where it had no business being that bad.
It should have been better.
Like just by mistake should have been good.
You literally see the wand of the bomb out of the rat's ass. That's still worse than this.
So it's pretty low because right after that,
it's crazy.
Like, Shaolin versus Evil Dead and
So Double Impact was almost better than this.
Almost.
He plays two different characters in this and that movie, bro.
That's right.
Nobody can pull that shit off. Like, it takes a special talent.
Oh wait, I got Raging Fire too high.
Jackie Chan can.
Is Raging Fire the Chuck Norris?
No, that's Silent Rage.
Okay.
Raging Fire is Donnie Yen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. No,
okay.
We good.
That's Chinese heat, bro.
Oh my God. Good time. Yeah, Chinese heat. That's a good way to put it. All right, guys. Well, that is it for this movie. Such a weird, interesting movie. I'm kind of glad I watched it though, because it's
interesting.
Cool
to watch.
It was.
That's what I'm saying.
But it wasn't.
But it was
cool to watch because you fast forwarded it.
No, I let it play all the way through, but I was on my phone for a lot of that.
I was going to say, dude, I was in a movie theater, I probably would have been pissed.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's not a movie theater movie.
No, yeah.
You would think it is, but it's not.
But that's probably why they didn't release it, right? Like it's on
this goes straight to Blu-ray. So next week, what are we doing next week?
Next week we are going back to Warrior, HBO series.
We'll do that after 3 and 4, bro.
We're alternating.
We can alternate.
We can alternate.
We're gonna do episodes 3 and 4.
It's not that long. 3 and 4. Okay. All right, cool. I'm excited. What's the name of those episodes? I don't even fucking remember the name of those, but
I don't know.
I'll look it up right now while we're talking about it.
I can tell you right now. John Chinaman and the White Mountain.
Okay, very cool. Enrique, if they want to leave us a message or something like that, where can they do that, please?
And go to our link tree. You can find out all of our socials. linktr.ee/Gung-Fu Super Bros.
Barker, if they want to leave us a message.
Hey, 661-401-5941 or go to www.gungfusuperbros.com. Rate, review, leave a comment on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts. Like, comment, subscribe, or ring that bell icon for notifications.
Hey, Barker, say bye.
Hey, mahalo, folks.
Enrique,
Bye.
Super Deuce Stevens.
Bye.
And remember, my name is Ivan. You are not from the Yoshia clan. It was like fucking 2 lines I could pick from, guys. Wu-Tang!